Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. inZOI has officially launched on Steam into early access, and it is doing fairly well. Honestly speaking, I thought this game was gonna pull even bigger numbers, but I think this is a case of a lot of people are into Sims, and they've been gated out of playing the game just from a system requirement standpoint. It's still doing very well. I mean, there are a lot of people running around talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows being the most successful Assassin's Creed launch on Steam ever, and this is doing considerably better than Shadows, but so it's doing well. I just thought it would easily crack the six-figure range, and right now, as I'm recording this video, it is around 85,000 concurrent players. It is in early access, so obviously very much still a work in progress, and I think a lot of people are finding that out. I'll go through some of the Steam reviews because I feel like this paints a far better picture about issues people are facing than just one person. I can talk about performance issues, things like that, and I talked about it with the other games coming out this year, but when you look at the general overview of what people are experiencing, you get a better idea because performance is such a crapshoot so many of the times, and a lot of the complaints are the stuff that I was expecting people to complain about, but we'll talk about that as well in just a little bit. I do want to note they put out an early access release statement. The moment you've been waiting for has finally arrived. inZOI has officially released in early access as of March 28th, but this is just the beginning. Now that the game has officially started its journey, we'd like to invite you to become a part of its growth. We look forward to your feedback and ideas helping shape the world of inZOI. Every life becomes a story. And they also did note inZOI Creative Studio closure announcement. This was kind of the demo creation suite that they had. Despite the demo version's many limitations, we were able to receive plenty of support and feedback from our creators, which has been a tremendous source of motivation. We extend our heartfelt thank you to all of you. Now our team is moving beyond inZOI Creative Studio and stepping toward broader horizons with inZOI's early access release. While there's still room for improvement, we are nonetheless excited to share what we've been working on. We hope you'll continue to show your support and share your feedback on inZOI's early access version scheduled for release. Again, it's out right now. Remember that if you do have creations made using inZOI Creative Studio, they will be available for use in the early access version. ZOIs and buildings saved in inZOI Creative Studio can be carried over to the early access version. Creations from saved files deleted within inZOI Creative Studio cannot be carried over, and you can also import from Canvas. Presets for ZOIs, outfits, property, rooms, and furniture created in inZOI Creative Studio and uploaded to Canvas can be downloaded and used in the early access version of the game. Changes in property size may cause parts of the buildings to clip or fail to appear properly in the story mode. As I'm recording this video, it does have 85,000 concurrent players, which is a really successful number. Nobody or any developer, I don't think, would look at an 85,000 number, especially for a new IP, new studio, everything like that, and be like, oh, that's an abject failure. It is not a failure. I just thought, most wishlisted game on Steam at the moment, I thought it was gonna crack 100K pretty easily. It probably will crack that over the weekend, but I do think we are getting an idea, and I saw this a lot in my comment section, that some people are just gated out of even playing the game from a system requirement standpoint, and I did hear the argument of this is why the game is not going to be successful. They're gating people out of playing the game. I would argue that it is successful because of gating people out of playing the game, because the game is so technically impressive. Could you say that the game should be better optimized, etc., etc.? Yeah, sure, but there would never be a world where this game would be able to be ran on low-end laptops, which a lot of people play Sims on lower-end laptops and lower-end machines. That just was never going to be a reality. The reason why inZOI got a lot of attention in the first place was because it was this technically impressive game. So what are you going to do? Yeah, you could make a competitor that from an aesthetic standpoint doesn't look as impressive as inZOI, from a visual standpoint isn't as impressive as this game, but then you're limiting a big part of the appeal of the game. The reason this game gained a lot of traction on social media is because, or at least a large part is because of the visual. So I think it's a catch-22 when you do make that argument. You're gonna gate some people out, but at the same time, you're almost using the fact that it is so technically impressive, the fact that it is so technically demanding, as a promotional vehicle. And it absolutely worked, because while I might look at that 85,000 number and be like, oh, I was hoping for a little bit better, that's still an incredibly successful number. I will also say that the game is getting the banner treatment on Steam last I checked. It's cycling with the first Berserker Kazan, but when Steam has a banner page for any game, that's always a good sign, and that's always a cool thing to see when a game is being promoted like that. Great stuff there. And then I do want to go over some of the Steam reviews. Now, very positive reception right out the gate. 3,100 reviews, 85% positive. That's going to fluctuate a little bit, but that's a really, really healthy starting spot to be at for an early access game. Generally, the hope is early access games just get better and better, and that reception will be better and better. The top review here, I think, says a lot of things that are insightful and that I agree with. It's not as simple as a yes or no here. Honestly, this game has some really innovative and funny stuff in it. The 3D object creator is awesome. The AI emotes and other generation options are very cool. That stuff does need a lot of work. The game itself looks really pretty. The level of customization is literally off the charts. But the thing is, there really isn't any content to play right now. So if you don't enjoy designing houses, ZOIs, your city, or furniture, clothing, assets, and such, then you really aren't going to have fun with this yet. It really isn't a game yet. There are really only the creative sandbox tools right now. Looking forward to the future potential of the game, but right now, even though I personally am going to enjoy this, I would say don't buy it and wait for updates. That's pretty much, I think, the general consensus opinion. It's a visually stunning game. It's very, very appealing, but there is a finite level of content here, and that was always going to be the expectation. I know that people have different expectations when it comes to what level of a game should be there at early access. I really think right now it should be fine-tuning the bugs, the issues with that game, and get it to a standpoint where mechanically and fundamentally, where it works well, you eliminate a lot of the bugs, and then you flesh out the experience. I feel like what you have in inZOI is like a skeleton of a really incredible experience. It needs to be fleshed out, and there needs to be more content, there needs to be more depth added. But that's generally a lot of the times what early access is going to be. Could you say that it should have more depth to it right out the gate? Absolutely. And especially at a $39.99 price point, like $40, yes, it's less than your typical $60, $70 price point, but it is an early access title. $40 at an early access level is higher than you usually see. Pal World, which I would say came out in a far more robust state, a far more compelling state as well, that released at $29.99. $40 is a premium for a live service title. Ongoing development despite its flaws. Again, visual polish and ambitious concept as well. There's a lot of issues that people do note as far as bugs, glitches, performance, things of that nature, even on higher end PCs. And again, I think a lot of people are of the mindset that yes, the customization is phenomenal, but the lack of depth makes it why they're leaving a negative review. If you are going into inZOI right now, just realize you're going into a game that, yes, there's a lot of depth in the customization, but as far as an actual game, as far as the content, as far as replayability, that's where you're gonna see a lacking of depth, and even the content that is there is incredibly rough around the edges, but this is all stuff that they can work on throughout early access, and the next year is going to be what really sets the table for what inZOI is going to be for the long term. And based on everything that went on with the de novo, the anti-tamper DRM that, you know, they announced that and then they pulled it right after people lashed out at that, and rightfully so, but the fact that they responded so quickly to that does make me believe that the inZOI studio is going to listen to their audience. So that is at least making me optimistic for the future. You can never really predict these kinds of things. Who knows what's going to happen over the course of the next 12 to 18 months, but right now, I am incredibly optimistic. Remember that the game is intensive to run, but at the same time, the game is available through GeForce Now if you do have good internet connection. I am not about game streaming, but if that's your only option to play the game and you really want to play the game, you might want to look into that as well. That'll allow you to stream the game to your PC, but you gotta have good internet. If you're on Wi-Fi, if you're on, like, I don't know, your campus's internet, like, yo, it's gonna be a crap show as far as that's concerned. Like, that's not gonna turn out well. But, yeah, I thought I would make mention of that since I did see a lot of people talk about that. And you do have people sharing their creations as well already. I've seen some really cool stuff in the community hub, particularly, if I can pull it up, somebody created, here we go, Majima from the Yakuza games, and it's quite the tremendous recreation of Majima, but nonetheless, a lot of cool creations to be had, and there's a lot of depth to the customization aspects. I would say that's the most compelling aspect of this game right now, is the customization that is offered. But that is going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, whether or not you've checked out inZOI. But yeah, your thoughts down below. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.